Well, it's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, I wanted to talk about Savannah Marshall and Claressa Shields because that was obviously the big news yesterday. You know, Savannah Marshall had her big devastating, I think it was like a third or fourth round knockout against Femke Hermans. Hit her with a devastating left hook, knocked her out cold. They had to get, I believe they had to get a stretcher and take her out the damn ring. She was motionless when she got hit. So much prayers go out to her. But Savannah Marshall showing again. You know, people can say what they want. I know Claressa had a lot to say, but she's showing time and time again that when it comes to who is the hardest punching female in the world, you know, you got to put her towards the top of that list, if not the top, because every time Savannah Marshall cracks one of these girls, they fall down, and they fall down in devastating fashion. So just another good showing from Savannah Marshall against a former Claressa Shields opponent. You know, Femke Hermans took Claressa Shields the distance when they fought. Savannah's previous opponent, I believe it was Maria Lindbergh. I believe she fought Claressa Shields, and Claressa took her the distance as well. So she's fighting some common opponents of Claressa, and she's just starching them. Actually, correction. Maria Lindbergh was not a Claressa Shields opponent. She was a Christina Hammer opponent, so correction on that. But Hermans was a Claressa Shields opponent, and Savannah Marshall just absolutely starched her and got her out of there. As to where Claressa went the distance with her. Now, that doesn't mean that's not an automatic, like, sign that Savannah Marshall would win, but it is a good feather in her cap, and it does make the fight a little more interesting now that they had that common opponent, and Savannah did what she did to her in comparison to Claressa. Now, let's just pose the question. Let's pose the question here on True School Sports: is Savannah Marshall the one to crack the code and defeat the GOAT, beat Claressa Shields? Because I really feel like, you know, you can say what you want about Claressa. You can say that she don't punch hard. You can say that, you know, you don't like her personality. You can say a lot of negative things about Claressa Shields. But love her, hate her, you know, you got to respect her. She's an absolute star in the sport. She's a great fighter. When the history books are written, she will be remembered as an all-time great. 2-time gold medalist, 2-time undisputed champion, 3 division champion. You know, constantly, you know, showing that she's a cut above the rest. And she's fought some good people. She's fought good fighters like Hannah Gabriels, like Christina Hammer, like Francois Cruz Dezern in her pro debut, and she's went on to be a hell of a fighter herself, Francois Cruz. So her resume speaks for itself. It's unprecedented when it comes to what's going on in women's boxing, and I think she'll get her appreciation later on. But to me, this is her signature fight. Now, is Savannah Marshall the go to beat her? Now, Savannah Marshall was the last go to beat her, but as Claressa Shields eloquently stated yesterday when they were having their little face-to-face, she's not 17 anymore. Claressa Shields has grown up. She's matured, and the amateurs is a whole different sport to the pros. So, you know, what does Savannah Marshall bring to the table that could really trouble Claressa Shields? Well, first of all, she's very big for that weight class. She's bigger than Claressa, which size by itself doesn't really mean a lot because Christina Hammer was bigger than Claressa, and that was one of Claressa's best performances. So size alone, as history has shown us with Claressa, that's not going to be enough to beat her. You're going to need a little bit more than size, but I think she's bringing a good blend of things to the table. She's bringing good size. She's bringing good mobility. She's bringing a certain fluidity about her that most fighters don't have in women's boxing. You know, it's only a few fighters in women's boxing that has the kind of fluidity that Savannah Marshall has. And fluidity, when I say fluidity, for those of you who don't know what I mean, when I say fluidity, I mean fluidity as far as like how natural your punches come out. They're not like, she's not like robotic or mechanical with a punch. Everything comes out nice and easy and relaxed and just point A to point B real nicely. So she's got that going for her. She had, like, I was talking to my friend, my boy Sean, because we were watching some of Savannah Marshall the other day. And Savannah Marshall, she kind of has like this style about her where like she has the looseness and the fluidity of a Tyson Fury, which really shouldn't be a surprise because like she's trained by Peter Fury, who is his uncle. So you can see the Fury influence in her style. So she has that Tyson Fury fluidity and looseness about her, but then she has kind of like the Sergey Kovalev the Sergey Kovalev punch selection, the Sergey Kovalev aggressiveness. So I feel like her style is somewhere in the middle between a Tyson Fury and like a Sergey Kovalev, you know. And I think an aggressive style like that could be detrimental for Claressa because for Claressa, because there's been so much talk, because there's been so much hype about what Savannah Marshall can do, what she can't do, she's gonna want to go out there and prove a point. And she even said in her interviews, like, look, she better not stand in front of me. Like Claressa Shields, who's not known for being the puncher, is telling the puncher that she better not stand in front of her. So I think it would be a mistake on her part to exchange with her long term in this fight. Pick your spots, yes, but exchanging with her might be to her detriment, and that's where the punching power of Savannah Marshall comes into play. Now, Claressa Shields would say, well, she's been fighting these girls that are on 2 weeks notice and 1 week's notice and whatever, moving them up, and she's not wrong. She has had more than one opponent like that, but boxing's a results-based business. Like Deontay Wilder fought some straight cans when he was a prospect. I'm talking about guys that were once like middleweights or 168 pounders who ate themselves up to heavyweight and fought him, like the dude Damon McCreary. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, go look at the fight that Wilder had with Damon McCreary. It was the same thing. So like, you know, it's not about, yes, you can discredit opposition, but at the end of the day, your job as a fighter is to go in there and deliver the results. So yeah, she might have fought some tomato cans, but she made sure she treated them as such, and she got the knockouts. So it shows that she has that punching power. And you know, we've seen Claressa get dropped before by the likes of Hannah Gabriels, who, by the way, Hannah Gabriel is a good fighter. Hannah Gabriel can crack herself. So it wasn't surprising when it happened, but we've seen her get touched up, and we've seen her get touched up by the right hand. And Marshall's got a big, devastating right hand, which he dropped Hermans with yesterday, I believe. She's got a big left hook, which he freaking flatlined her with yesterday. So if there was a girl, in my opinion, if there was ever a girl in the professional ranks of boxing that you could say that's the girl to beat Claressa Shields, it's got to be Savannah Marshall. It can't be nobody else but Savannah Marshall because she's already done it in the amateurs. So she already has that psychological advantage over her, because when they talk and they have the little face-off, she can just talk about the amateurs, and that'll get Claressa wound up. And she still has to go out there and deliver, but she has everything it takes. She has the size, she has the mobility, she has the punching power, she has the fluidity, she has the boxing IQ. You know, does she have the experience at that top level of women's boxing? Not necessarily. She doesn't have the resume that Claressa has, but like I've said many times, resumes alone don't win fights. The experience you gather from the resumes can win you fights, but resumes alone won't win you fights. So I just think, look, Claressa Shields is already going down as arguably, if not the best women's fighter of all time when it's all said and done. But if she wins this fight right here, to me, it really takes it to another level, because Savannah Marshall is an extremely dangerous opponent. TNT in both hands, punching power in both hands, size, fluidity, strength, smarts, self-belief. She has all the attributes it takes to beat her. So now that Savannah Marshall has done her job, Claressa's done her job, you know, set it up for the summer. Make it happen. I mean, Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor is a good fight. It's a great fight, and I'm excited for it. But to me, when we talk about women's boxing and what is the best fight, is this fight right here. And I'm not going to give my prediction, you know, on the fight, but I will say, and I will make this declarative statement: if there was a girl you could peg as the one to beat Claressa Shields, it is definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, Savannah Marshall. Whether or not Savannah Marshall actually beats Claressa Shields is a whole other issue on its own. But, you know, I think she is a girl to beat Claressa Shields. So you guys can let me know what you think in the comments down below about Savannah Marshall versus Claressa Shields. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. You guys can do me this favor too, because I haven't been making videos as much. Like, anything that I missed over the last 3 to 4 days, let me know what you want to see videos on in the comments down below, and I'll get to it as soon as possible. Leave your comments down below. Take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on True School Sports, the home of boxing. If you made it this far, do me a favor and do yourself a damn favor. Hit that subscribe button, and surely you will not be disappointed. You know, True School Sports bringing you the latest and greatest, the untouchable, you know, boxing content, interviews, news videos, breakdowns, live fight reaction extravaganza. We've got a great community of people here. boxing fans all over the world, from America to the UK to Australia and on and on and on. So join the empire today. Hit that subscribe button. Take care and God.